Dear Secretary Pompeo, we are the citizens of the new federal state of China. We'd like to thank you for defending the free world as the U.S. Secretary of State. Your messages have been consistent and direct because you are speaking the truth. No one is free until everyone is free. President Nixon started the experiment to engage the Chinese Communist Party in the 1970s in hope that China would become a free country. President Trump and you took the lessons learned from the experiment and revealed the truth to the world.
The truth is that our policies and those of other free nations resurrected China's failing economy only to see Beijing bite the international hands that were feeding it. If the free world doesn't change, Communist China will surely change us. There can't be a return to the past practices because they're comfortable or because they're convenient.
We appreciate you for separating the Chinese people from the Chinese Communist Party. The CCP cannot represent the Chinese people.
And so I admire the Chinese people. I am confident that the Chinese people want a different path forward. They want their freedoms, and it is the Chinese Communist Party denying them. It is important to keep them separate. There are great Chinese people who live all across the world, including here in the United States of America. We want to honor them and we admire them, and we hope that they too will join the call to change the nature of how this regime behaves in its international activities.
We thank you for making great impact by moving from policy into actions in 2020 and 2021. July 15, 2020, U.S. imposed visa restrictions on certain employees of Chinese technology companies that abused human rights. July 24th, the Chinese consulate in Houston, Texas was closed. On July 31st, U.S. sanctioned human rights abusers in Xinjiang, China. December 4th, PRC-funded propaganda programs were terminated. December 7th, designations of National People's Congress officials undermined the autonomy of Hong Kong. On December 21st, U.S. announced additional restrictions on the issuance of visas for People's Republic of China officials engaged in human rights abuses. On December 28th, you protected U.S. investors from financing Communist Chinese military companies. On January 9, 2021, you lifted self-imposed restrictions on the U.S.-Taiwan relationship. January 15, 2021, you ensured a transparent, thorough investigation of the origin of COVID-19. On January 19, 2021, you imposed the determination of the Secretary of State on atrocities in Xinjiang.
一个蓬佩奥国务卿和美国川普总统任期内所做的事情是过去70年的活。对中共的制裁，除了全面脱钩，基本上全做到了。
Your actions have inflicted real pain on the Chinese Communist Party because the CCP gave you the highest honor of the enemy of mankind. We appreciate you for remembering our heroes when the CCP disappeared them from the history book. On June 4th, we honor the heroic protest movement of the Chinese people that ended on June 4th, 1989. When the Chinese Communist Party leadership sent tanks into Tiananmen Square to violently repress peaceful demonstrations calling for democracy, human rights, and an end to rampant corruption. We express our deep sorrow to the families still grieving their lost loved ones, including the courageous Tiananmen mothers who have never stopped seeking accountability despite great personal risks. We salute the heroes of the Chinese people who bravely stood up 30 years ago in Tiananmen Square to demand their rights. Their exemplary courage has served as an inspiration to future generations calling for freedom and democracy around the world, beginning with the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of communism in Eastern Europe in the months that followed. We, the Chinese people, will keep fighting until we take down the CCP.
当时的 CIA 局长庞皮奥先生传说啊，还有塞森斯部长，这个以辞职威胁，让我留下来。大家都知道，庞皮奥国务卿，还有这个马蒂斯这个国防部长，还有这个当时塞森斯部长，还有班农先生，啊，当时是保我的最关键人物。他们保我不是神经病，他们知道我公会是什么人。
所有6次牺牲的人都是英雄，所有的家人都是英雄的家人。 所有这些英雄都不应该被忘记。很快你们会知道这是谁写的。听说庞皮奥国务卿亲自改稿，把原来的稿的高度又拔高了很多，让人万分佩服啊，万分佩服啊，上天有眼呐，庞皮奥国务卿真是了不得呀，此人逻辑性强，深熟国际关系，对人权、对国际政治、地缘政治、对亚洲和欧洲和美国的历史熟通，在哈佛的同学圈里面有一个外号叫可以100%信赖的一个人啊，他这个人完全不一样，什么事情都大家坐下来一起说，非常的温和啊，和生活中的庞皮奥国务卿和这个大家电视上看的完全不一样，非常的有亲和力，非常的有感染力。
We get your humor in the photo of Mercy playing with Winnie the Pooh. Thank you for turning the page of the US-China relationship. The relationship shouldn't be hijacked by a few elites to enrich themselves. Governments should put their people first, and all the people share the love of freedom. We wish you all the best, citizens of the new federal state of China.
Take down the CCP! Take down the CCP! Follow me and I'ma set us free! Take down the CCP!